when you're on your mission, like when someone asks you name a spiritual or the most spiritual experience on your mission, that's a really hard question because there are just so many that you almost get like numb to it. You're like, oh, another spiritual experience. But I remember one in particular where we got a call from some people requesting a video. And usually, a lot of times, that was just, people just wanted free stuff, And so we were like, okay. And so we went over to this house, and it was two brothers living together. And they told us this story of this conversion that they had had. And man, I wrote it down in my journal, but it was basically, they had like this, it was a vision. I mean, I can't remember if it was a vision or a dream or just sort of, I don't know what, but like basically their grandfather had come back to him and was talking to him because they were like into drugs and like they were smoking a lot of marijuana. But they kind of had like this vision, and their grandfather came and talked to them and said, and their grandfather was dead. And they said, you guys got to clean up or else, I'm not happy the way that you're living your life. And he said, there are people that you gotta find a church that will help you clean up your life. And you got to find one because there are lots of churches that are near to God with their lips, but their hearts are far from them. Like verbatim from the Joseph Smith story. I was like, what? That's amazing. And so they were like, it was like these guys that were just really rough around the edges, but they just had this complete spiritual experience, and just they were converted. And so we met with them the first time, and then like a month later they were baptized. And it was just confirmation that the Lord prepares people, sometimes very gradually, most of the time very gradually, but sometimes very suddenly, and just drops this revelation on them, and it changes their lives. And that was a testimony to me that the Lord is in charge of the work. And I absolutely know that to be true.